Hey everyone, welcome to the first video of the final section of the course where we're going to work on deploying your app, and the focus of this first video is deploying and hosting. In this first video, we're going to take a quick look at some of the options that are available to you for deploying and hosting your app. Before continuing, I just want to mention that I'll only be covering a handful of the options that are actually out there, so feel free to check out the Gatsby docs for a more comprehensive list. AWS's Amplify is a combination of a CLI toolchain, client library, and a console for continuous deployment and integration. The console makes it easier to rapidly release new features and helps you avoid downtime. To deploy with Heroku, we'd use Heroku Build Pack Static, which would allow us to handle the static files in our app. Some features include custom configuration, automatic gzipping of your project, and Heroku logs for tracking error and access logs. Similar to GitHub Pages, GitLab Pages supports custom domain names and SSL certificates. It also includes a continuous integration platform. Netlify provides continuous deployment by connecting directly to your repository. It's a great option for static site generators such as Gatsby and gives you the option to add your own custom domain. A specialized static site host, Aerobatic includes continuous delivery, automatically redirects HTTP to HTTPS, and makes deployment a breeze with the command aerodeploy. So, from these options and the others that are out there, which one are we going to use? We'll be using Netlify. So why Netlify? It is incredibly easy to get up and running. There's no extra configuration required on our end, no additional files to add, and no changes to make in our code. Simply make sure you've run Gatsby build and your master branch is up to date, and Netlify will take care of the rest. What about when you make changes to your app and want to deploy them? How will you do that? It's as simple as committing and pushing to your repository. Deployments are triggered by commits on the master branch. You push, Netlify deploys. You can do 3 builds a minute, roll back with 1 click, optimize assets, preview deploys, and much, much more. If you look at deployment and hosting in the Gatsby docs, you will probably come across something called path prefix. So we're just diverging a little bit here from our Netlify and deploying discussion. I just want to go over this because if you do look at the docs, this may be something you come across and it may be something you want to use. So we're going to pause for a moment on setting up Netlify. We're going to create that account in the next video. And I'm just going to go over this in case there's anyone who is interested in adding a path prefix to their app. This is an optional field that you can add to your config if you want pages on your site to live somewhere other than the root. So let's head to our text editor and experiment with adding a path prefix. All right, so directly above site metadata here in your config file, we're going to go ahead and add path prefix. And then / and you can put whatever you want in here. I'm going to put blog. And then just make sure we add the comma there. All right, now let's head over to our terminal so I can show you what command you'll need to run. All right, to view what path prefix does, we need to run the build and serve commands, but with an additional flag for each. So you can see there I've got -- path prefix paths for both of those commands. If you don't add -- prefix paths to Gatsby build, the file structure won't be built correctly. And if you admit it from Gatsby serve, when you go to the browser, your links won't work and you'll be directed to 404s. So let's go ahead and run that. And remember, this may take a little while. Our project's still fairly small, so it's pretty quick. The larger your application gets, the slower this becomes. But still, overall, Gatsby's pretty speedy regardless. Right, and remember, so we're going to hit localhost 9000, and you can now see I've also got the prefix of blog there. So let's pop over to the browser, localhost 9000, and check that out. All right, so here you can see that I'm on my homepage, and you can see that the path now includes / blog. And if we click on any of these buttons, we can see that our posts are now prefixed by blog. Obviously, if you prefer for everything to live off the root, then path prefix is something you won't want to add to your config. And I'll just show you now if we were to delete that, this is what would happen. So if you want to go back to just having everything live off the root, just go back and remove that from your config file.